Hello, Shoyan here. Today I am installing the window frames, then moving on to the interior joinery. I've already put in the floor and ceiling, next up is the wall. But before that, I need to install the custom shaped pieces, so I'm starting with the window frame. The dismantling crew was supposed to take down the exterior as well, but they're still catching up. I can't build the walls until the window frames are in place, so I've never done it this way, but I'm leaving the bay window as it is and putting a slightly smaller frame inside it. It actually works. It's an old wooden bay window that sticks out from the main structure, so there's room to fit a large frame in there. I'm reusing the existing chamois as the lintel. The frame actually fits in more easily than I expected. I think that was the right call. Swapping out old window frames really makes a difference. I saw it firsthand when I did it at my own house. Modern frames insulate so well. It's like stuffing the wall full of insulation. Old frames let in air even when the glass is shut. Bay windows especially get little side gaps the breeze sneaks through, enough to move the curtains. These new frames seal tight and the double glazing keeps the heat out. Definitely worth it. Next up is the kitchen's bay window. Back in the day, kitchens usually had big bay windows, but now it makes more sense to go smaller and leave more wall space. They fit better that way. Replacing window frames is almost never about making them bigger. Usually they get downsized. That also makes the renovation easier. In most cases, the new frame is one size smaller. There'll be a 90 centimeter wide wall section on this side, so I am installing insulation there. Now I don't have to wait for the exterior teardown to move forward. With the new window frame in, I can start framing the wall. If this were new construction, I would be able to frame the whole wall in one go. But in a renovation, I need to use the laser level and go section by section. I get one wall plumb, then move on to the next. Normally, I put in the window jamb extensions before framing the wall. But it's tricky to line up the fairing strips because the columns stick out proud of the surface. So this time, I'm securing the fairing strips and framing the wall first, then measuring for the jamb extensions based on that. The column was more warped than I expected. It stuck out quite a bit, so I had to plane it down. If I'd adjusted the laser by 5 or 6 millimeters, I could have skipped that. Just a little misalignment like that ends up meaning extra work. It's not good to do unnecessary work like this. Even if it still looks good in the end, it's better to check those projections and recesses ahead of time and mark the lines for the frame accordingly. Now I'm putting in the window jamb extensions. In new builds, I do these first, then frame the wall. But since I'm taking measurements from the finished frame, I have to fit the extensions in afterward. That makes it a bit harder to install. I'm using solid cedar for the extensions. Solid wood is great, especially when the frames for the wall and window aren't flush. Even after I've checked that it's level and square, the frame can still have a slight twist, just a few millimeters. That makes the extension sizes uneven. With solid wood, I can fix that by planing the back, not the front. The trade-off is that you can't rabbet the extensions for angle trim. There'll be two 1.8-meter closets along the front wall. I'm framing each one separately. Each will get its own frame. The sliding doors might not go in right away, but the frame has grooves, so they're ready when the time comes. Just like before, I'm framing the wall first and fitting the closet frame tightly into the opening. I can't install it like I would in new construction, so I've got to get creative, like attaching the wall backing directly to the closet frame and fastening it from there. Every job has its challenges, but I figure out what works. As long as the frame is straight and snug, that's what counts. Now that the closet frames are in, I'm getting ready to hang the drywall. But first, I'm installing the baseboards. These aren't the kind that go in last, they're installed first. They're simply rabbeted and I screw them straight down over the flooring. When they're screwed in, the floor and baseboard won't separate, even after everything dries out over time. That's a nice little bonus. Now, I'm hanging drywall. I upgraded my screw gun and it's working great. But the drywall cutter is acting up. The belt's slipping and it's not cutting right. Probably time to replace it. When I hang drywall, I make sure not to place joints right at the window corners. If possible, I cut a full sheet to fit around that area. That helps prevent cracks down the line. Once the drywall goes up, the room really starts to come together. The old wall disappears and is quickly replaced with the new one. It's such a satisfying moment. Homeowners always love seeing that part. Now the window frames are swapped out, the extensions are installed, and the drywall's up. I'll keep finishing one room at a time. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.